Hey everyone, welcome back to Captured Exploration. I'm Jess.
And I'm Greg, and this time we're exploring La Fortuna, Costa Rica.
We saw our first sloth up in those trees. Greg was very skeptical, but I said, we'll find one.
I just went to get my zoom lens, and the Airbnb host showed up to let us in, and now we can't find it.
Wait, I see something moving. Do you see it? It might be a bird though. It's scratching.
I've been trying to find it, looking through the camera.
Morning. Just woke up. Greg is still sleeping. I came out to the porch this morning and saw a beautiful view of the volcano. It's clear. You can see all the way to the peak. There's even some smoke coming out at the top, which was really cool to see. Today we have horseback riding and do a Hanging Bridges Park. Something really loud just flew by.
Well, we just got finished having our first local Costa Rican breakfast. It seems like all of their breakfast contains at least rice, beans, plantains, and then whatever protein you want to put with it. So we got ham this time, but it was really good.
The horseback riding tour we did was through Mistico Arenal Hanging Bridges Park. The ride wound through pastures and gave beautiful views of the volcano. Our horses' names were Paco and Abuela. Abuela was a little grumpy. She didn't like to be near certain other horses and would put her ears back and then run at them and try to bite them.
We finished our horseback riding and then we went on a guided tour of the Mistico Hanging Bridges Park.
Our tour guide was Julio, and he knew a lot. He was just a wealth of knowledge. We soaked it up like sponges. There's 6 long suspension bridges. Some are higher than others, but great views of the volcano from the bridges and the wildlife. This is something that you definitely need a tour guide for. He used a scope, and we got close-ups of all the small animals, from frogs, 2 different kinds of snakes, a sloth, and a few other things.
While we were in La Fortuna, we went to a few different hot springs. Our favorite was by far the Springs Resort and Spa. They have a bunch of different pools, including a swim-up bar. They also have it was a really cool, like, jungle feeling. It was further away from the resort, really secluded, a lot of vegetation all around. That was probably my favorite area of any hot spring we went to while we were in Costa Rica.
Good morning. Today we're going to a coffee shop first. We're going to try to find some good local coffee. After that, we're doing a hike at the national park around the volcano. Originally, we were going to go whitewater rafting, but we both ended up wimping out. And so we canceled that, and we booked a chocolate and coffee tour. I'm actually excited about that.
We went to the Red Frog Coffee Roaster for breakfast and coffee.
The coffee's good.
Look at that froth.
The coffee's good here. It's really strong. The spicy sauce, that's where it's at. I'm not sure what's in it. Some sort of chilies, but it's not too spicy. Super flavorful. Really good on burrito.
They roast the beans there. They have a little roaster right behind the counter that you can watch them. It's a flame from propane, and then there's an electric spinner that spins the beans around inside.
And the whole place smells like roasting. It's like smoke is like filling the place where you're sitting, and it smells like roasted coffee. But we met the owner, super nice guy. He kind of walked us through how he makes the coffee and everything, and it was really interesting.
Now we are headed to the Arenal Volcano National Park to do a hike around the base of the volcano. This is the Arenal 1968 trail. 1968 was the last major eruption. It was really tragic, actually. It ended up wiping out an entire village. killing a decent bit of people. The Costa Rican government now owns the land. It's a national park to prevent people from rebuilding in this area in case of another eruption.
So now we get to hike on it.
We're planning to do the Red Trail, which is 5 kilometers, so about 3 miles. Yeah, so down there is our lake that we're gonna go to.
That's where we're starting.
That's where we're starting.
And that's the volcano, which is right there.
That we can't see. Over on this side here is another old volcano. I think it's just a crater now. It's no longer active. You used to be able to hike to it, but then people were illegally hiking to this main volcano, so now that trail is also closed. The volcano! It's kind of cool to see it in the clouds.
Yeah, all of the rock we're walking on this entire hike is lava, so it's just one giant lava field basically. It's been not too hot too since it's so cloudy. The humidity's still real, we're still sweating like crazy, but no sun, which is welcomed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really awesome hike.
Yeah, so far so good. So we've just got off the summit and now we're gonna make the long return trip around the lake.
Here you can see some leafcutter ants. Yesterday on our tour of the Hanging Bridges Park, our guide explained to us these ants go up, cut the leaves, bring them down. You can kind of see their path all the way down the vine, and then down through here. And into their main sleeping areas, into their main home. And
if you look right there, on either side, you'll see piles of leaves that they're carrying. These are rejects. They do quality control. Every once in a while, you'll see a small ant on top of a leaf that they're carrying. And that's for quality control purposes. They bring them down and they make fungus with them to eat. And if the leaves are not up to their standards, they leave them outside. So those are all the rejects.
these ants are crazy strong. We'll show a video in here of an ant holding this massive leaf. These ants also can, I don't know if you would call it biting, because it's more like a pincher.
It's a pincher.
They can pinch you and they won't let go. So in the olden days, before we had modern medicine, they would use these ants as stitches. They would put them on your cut and then decapitate them, and they would stay clamped onto your skin, holding it shut. We saw monkeys! I'm so excited. Way up in that tree. There's like 6 of them. Oh, so cool. Oh, look at them go. Oh. Dream come true. How do you feel about seeing monkeys, Greg?
I'm happy for you. It was very cool.
Greg was getting annoyed with me because I would stop and look for monkeys every few feet. But we're walking out. Greg's like, oh, I want to take a picture of these steps. So he stops to take pictures of these silly steps. And I turn around, and of course I'm looking in the branches for monkeys, and what do you know? There were some monkeys.
Whole troop.
So earlier we were hiking along and we got really freaked out because they were I guess they were making sounds.
Ominous sound.
Yeah, so we were like, is that a monkey? Is it something worse?
When you get to the end of the trail, there's a really nice cafe. We got smoothies, but they do have other food and drinks available if you would like.
Just this little peak with the restaurant's like paradise. I don't want to leave. The rocks are smoking because of a hot spring underneath all of that. You get the perfect view of the volcano. There's a lookout point up top of the restaurant, and it has smoothies. We each had 2 because they were so good. And now we're heading back to the car.
Next we are doing the Northfields Coffee and Chocolate Tour.
I think that coffee tour was a lot better than both of us expected. We learned a lot, soaked up the information. It was a small group, only 4 of us. Got to try a lot of chocolate, got to try some coffee and learn all about it, and we really enjoyed it.
We have one more thing we're gonna do before we leave La Fortuna, and that is check out the waterfall.
We are at the La Fortuna Waterfall.
Woo! 'We made it to the waterfall! Supposedly they let people swim in it. We're not going to. It looks a little rough. And it's also not hot yet. It's 7 a.m. here. So we came early to try to beat the crowds. But there's no one else in the water either. Well, now it's time for the trek back up.
500 stairs.
Here we go. $400 steps to go. 300 steps to go. 200 steps to go. We made it. Somewhere we missed the 100 step mark, but we have made it to the top. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed our glimpse into La Fortuna. Next up, we're heading to Monteverde.
And as always, please like, share, and subscribe.
See you next time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna go when the volcano blows.